Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Texas Brew and Barbecue Finger Guns. I'm Khristy Sherrell, your official backyard ambassador for Recteq. What are we doing today? We're doing some beef ribs. We're not doing just any beef ribs. We're doing dino ribs. Look at the size of these things. This is like the ribs you hook on the side of the Flintstones car. We're gonna be doing a simple cook on these beef ribs. Beef ribs were something that I was very intimidated about. You'd see those cool pictures with the professional barbecue guy holding them up like, and they're doing like all this crazy stuff with them. And I was like, I will probably never cook that just because it looks very intimidating, but it's really not. One season, a little bit of trim, you stick them on, let them go, and they're perfect. And then you're gonna be the guy going with the rib. So let's get to it. We are gonna start trimming up this stack of dino ribs right here. I believe this is what is this, 3-bone? This is a 3-bone, it's about 6-7 pounds. It's a lot of rib. So all this fat right here, we are gonna trim off because they left some silver skin and stuff on there, and we're gonna get that junk off of there. Get a nice sharp knife. Sharp knife is your best friend. And we're gonna start taking that off. Just simple trim, you know? Get your blade flat. I put these in the freezer too for like 30 minutes just to harden them up, and it makes it a lot easier to trim. Beef ribs, man, it's brisket on a stick. I know they have short ribs you can get. You don't have to go with the dinos, you can do the short ribs. This rack has some good marbling in it. If you've never done beef ribs before, when you put them in there, don't freak out, because when they start to cook, they start to pull back off the bone and you're like, where's my meat going? Some people trim, some people don't trim at all, but I still like to get some of that dense fat out of there, just like you would a brisket. On the backside, I'm not gonna do anything to this backside. I wanna leave the membrane on there, because you're gonna notice that when you get closer to the end of this cook, that they get really, really flexible, and it's almost like you can just pull them right off the bone. So that membrane helps keep those bones and that meat attached. All right, we are trimmed. I'm good with it. So, pat this guy dry. I have my Recteq RT700 set at 300 degrees. I'm gonna cook these things at 300 degrees, and it's gonna take approximately, I'm gonna say it's gonna take about 6 hours to cook them. It's a long cook, but it's fun to watch. I'm going with the Recteq Ben's Heifer Dust. Every video, go ahead and say it with me. Go to recteq.com, get the rub bundle, you will love it. There you go, recteq.com, get the rub bundle. If you have not tried Ben's Heifer Dust, it's a bold flavor. It's just a savory flavor. It's great for beef. Anytime I do a brisket or beef ribs or anything beefy, Ben's Heifer Dust is my go-to. So we are going to liberally, trying to watch the wind out here, that's why I'm so close, cover these beef ribs. It's a very coarse rub, and it's gonna give you an excellent bark. What you're gonna do with these beef ribs is after you put these guys in the smoker, you let them go for 2 hours and they start getting that smoke. After that 2 hours, mix some water and vinegar together, just equal parts, water, vinegar, and spray these down once an hour. Just hit them, little spritz, once an hour after they've been smoking for 2 hours. That'll keep them nice and moist. The other question that people are gonna ask, do you wrap them? You can. I don't. I let the cook go all the way through. I don't wrap during the cook. The only time I wrap is after I pull them. I will wrap them in butcher paper, and I'll put them in my Cambro and let them rest. And I let them rest for a minimum of 1 hour. Then you can take them and slice in between the bone, and it's pretty amazing. All right. That's it. That's all there is to beef ribs. The trimming, the seasoning. We have our Recteq set at 300 degrees. We are gonna put those on right now. Let's put them on. I like to sit it towards the stack. Anything that you have that's gonna be doing a lot of grease or anything like that's gonna be coming out of your smoker, put it close to the stack, because right down in there is the exit of the smoker into your drip bucket. So that way you don't get a whole bunch of stuff on all over inside your grill. So I'm gonna go ahead and place this probe in here. Go find some meat. There we go. All right, we're gonna let those go for 2 hours, then I'm gonna come back and spritz them like I said. Another thing that you want to keep in mind is whenever you go to temp your ribs, make sure you don't go all the way in and hit the bone, because if you hit the bone, you're probably gonna get an inaccurate reading. So I usually pull those ribs off the smoker when I hit between 206 and 210. Wrap them in butcher paper, put them in your Cambro or your cooler. If there's beer in your cooler, like there should be, get a Cambro and put them in your Cambro. Let them rest for an hour. All right, I will see you guys in about 6 hours. Guys, it's Texas Brew and Barbecue, and I didn't open up a brew earlier. Forgive me, but I'm gonna do one right now. This is a Shiner Oktoberfest. Besides Halloween, this is one of my most favorite things about October, Shiner Oktoberfest. So good. Cheers, you guys. Oh, it's a good beer. All right. Beef ribs. We're gonna see how they turned out. Like I said, I only wrap whenever I put them to rest. That's it. I can't say anything else about that. There's no adjective that I can say to you to say how great these look. All right, well now we're gonna slice into them. Looks like one of the, look at this, watch. Tyrannosaurus Rex? I don't know. We'll see. Moment of truth. Gonna cut down into this. This bone is really close to this one, so it's gonna be hard to. Would you look at that? I don't like squeezing the meat. I don't like squeezing juices out of it, but I just want you to see how juicy that is. That smoke ring. Smoke ring comes from those Recteq Ultimate Blend pellets. Recteq.com, order their pellets. Let me just try a piece of this. You know what? I feel cavemanish. Here we go. We're just going in for it. That is so good. I'm not leaving any of this for Scott. Sorry, Scott. No one's getting these. I'm gonna eat them. Beef Dino Ribs. Don't be afraid to do it. Get out there and smoke some ribs. Until the next episode, cheers.